Hey buddy, this is a very useful video and it will definitely help me with my casting a lot. But a 7-foot rod is too long for fishing on rivers. Even with a 6-foot rod, my packing fishing rod, I can almost reach the other side. Of course, I normally cast upstream and let my lure float downstream. Plus, with a smaller rod, especially when you have to hike up or down the river sometimes, you go through bushes and trees. With a longer rod, you end up getting caught up or snagged. That's what I prefer, the backpacking style fishing rod, because it's so compact. I can put it in my fishing backpack so my hands are free to get through all that thick brush to get to where I need to be on the river. I know you're not a fan of backpacking style fishing rods, so my question to you is, what gear would you use differently for the river than you would on the lake? This is a tough question. What gear would I use different on the river as opposed to the lake? The answer is I use the same gear, so I don't change my rods. Brett's mentioning that he doesn't like carrying a bigger rod because it gets snagged up when he's hiking through the bushes and stuff like that, which I totally get. I figured out how to navigate the riverbank with a bigger rod, or with any rod really. And there's just one simple trick that really helped me out. You want to know that trick, don't you? I think Brett's real problem is navigating the woods with a rod, but he likes putting his rod in his backpack and then just kind of trucking through the woods. So I kind of see what he's doing. He's doing like a guerrilla style, just mow down them bushes. The number one tip I have for fishing rivers, if you're on the bank and you're navigating it and you're hiking, you're going to get tangled up in trees. But the way I prevent this specific issue is when I walk with my rods. We'll say this is my rod right here, right? That's my rod. Here's the tip, here's the reel. Or maybe I'll just use a pen. So normally when you're holding your rod, it's holding like this, right? So you're casting like this. And you know, if you're walking around a lake and there's no trees, or you're walking around in a field, you can walk with your rod in front of you. It's no big deal, right? You can just walk around. All you gotta do is watch out for people. You're really not going to whack into too much stuff, maybe some branches above you. On the river, there's a lot of tree cover. Instead of normally walking with your reel in your hand like you're about to cast, that's not how I travel with my fishing rod in the woods. When I'm walking in the woods, what I do is I flip it around. So I have the butt end sticking this way. Then underneath my arm, I'm carrying it by my side. I have the rod sticking straight behind me. The majority of my 7-foot rod is behind me. I always flip my rod around. And I know C-Tone, my buddy, does that as well. Other fishermen I fish with, they start out and they try to go tip first. Tip first is not the way to do it when you're walking through the woods. You want to turn your butt around on your fishing rod and continue that way and have that rod sticking. I try to stick it so it's kind of protected behind me too. It's not like I'm sticking it straight up in the air. It's directly in line. So if I'm walking, it's straight out like that. Brett, I hope this video helps out. Kind of makes it a little easier for navigating the woods. You're right, I do not like those backpacking rods. And the only reason I don't like backpacking rods is every section where that extension is to the next section, that is going to be, one, a weak spot in the rod where it may fail and break. Two, it's going to dampen the sensitivity in your rod. So I like a one-piece rod, so I have a more sensitive rod. Sunglasses are good in the woods so you don't poke yourself in the eye. I mean, it's hard to fish if you're blind. I'm sure there's blind fishermen out there, and I'm sure you guys are not watching my video, because unless you're just listening to it, that would be, I can't imagine that's entertaining at all. Anyway, Freshwater Fishing Novices, new viewers, I hope you liked my video this week, hopefully helping you navigate the woods when you're hiking the river or the stream or the creek. Thanks for watching this week. I'm the Freshwater Fishing Novice. It's been Freshwater Fishing Novice Friday. Hope everyone has a great weekend. I'll catch you next week.